Hmm. For those about to caffeinate, I salute you. Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Heather, and as always, I'm reading with a vengeance, and I hope you are as well. If you're an OG watcher, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new to my channel, very warm welcome to you. If you like what you see, please consider supporting my channel and giving that like button a boop, and a subscribe would be wonderful. This is a spur of the moment video that I'm doing here. I happened to see Alice over at the Book Castle do this, and I just thought it was a fun idea. I'm going to go through all 161 books. Storygraph says I had 161, Goodreads says I had 160, or vice versa. I don't know, but I don't know where the discrepancy is, but it's going to be 160 or 161 books that I'm going to go through in chronological order, in the order that I read them, and I'm just going to blurt out the first thing that comes to my mind. So is it a review? No, but some of them can probably be construed as a review, but it's going to end up being what I think or what I feel about the book now. I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. I'm going to pop up the picture of the book here. I'm not even going to say the name or the author, since we are talking about so many books. So I'm going to try to make it so that I don't do a whole lot of editing either. So if you see, any breaks in the recording where there's some editing, it's only because I want to take out the amount of time that I sat here and thought about it, or hemmed and hawed. I want to take out all of those. I just want it to be very, very spontaneous and to the point. So I'll just be using my computer here. Okay, here we go. Super boring and totally disappointed that I started off my year with a DNF. Sweet story, but I don't understand all the hype. Twisted characters that I definitely expect from this author. Something that everybody should read. Slow burn with a worthwhile twist. The humor is what I would have expected, but I'm glad it was a short story. Such an unexpected delight. Poignant and heartbreaking. For any series, I'm just going to put all the books that I read in the series and come up with a sentence for the entire series. So cute and never gets old. Cute and fun, but underwhelming. Way over my head because it made me feel dumb. Didn't really talk about anything beyond what is common sense. A book that I would have loved to have read as a middle grader. Interesting story, but I don't understand all the hype. Too weird and slow for me to finish. Super fun to find out that the movie Silver Bullet was based on this book. Weird, but in a relatable way. Super sweet and super cute, but didn't love it as much as I thought I would. Too weird for me to finish. Interesting premise, but not to the level I would expect from this author. So beautifully written, but would have been better if it was a little shorter. The atmosphere in this one made it so that I was thirsty the entire time I was reading it. Such an unexpected, creepy mystery in this one. Completely forgettable. Beautifully written, but the story didn't do anything for me. Fantastic way to end a series. Dark academia may not be my bag. A wonderful surprise. A multi-genre, action-packed adventure. One of the best young adult thrillers I've read. Super unique treatment of the topic. Would have been more interesting to me if I cared about biblical references. Absolute must for any book lover. Not my favorite from this author and too long. Not my favorite from this author and too long. I wish I would have read this as a middle grader. My first indication that YA fantasy may not be for me. Super engaging mystery. A warm hug in between covers. Super sweet middle grade. Annoying main character. My kind of poetry. I wish I had read this as a young reader. A wonderful treatment of coming of age as well as the Indian culture. Deserved to have made the short list on the Women's Prize for Fiction. Lovely, whimsical graphic novel. Super fun and funny series. One of the first books I read that included the pandemic lockdown. Absolutely loved the first one, almost DNF'd the second. Super cozy vibes. Brilliant handling of depression. The main character has all of my heart. Very undeserving of the average low rating. Would have been better if it stuck to the historical fiction portion of it. You can probably hear in the background it's raining and I live in a trailer, so it's super loud. Misleading title, but good story about friendship. I thought there would be more to it. Fantastic treatment on the death penalty argument. Ugh, just no. Not great, but this author never lets me down. Beautiful audiobook because of the Creole accent. Duchess is one of the most unforgettable characters. The second indication that young adult fantasy may not be for me. This would have been fun for me to read in the 5th grade. I wish I could read this again for the first time. Super inspiring, but I wanted more. Typically hilarious. After reading the Monk and Robot series, this was a major disappointment. Beautifully photographed, horrifyingly realistic, could not connect and DNF'd. Staggeringly straightforward and intimate and important. The beginning of the end with Ruth Ware. Really great story, but all I could think about was Harry Styles. Fantastic start to a series. Absolute favorite thriller of the year. A beautiful addition to my collection. Did not disappoint after reading Razorblade Tears. Thrilling short story, but the ending fell flat. Definitely worthy of the shortlist, but not deserving of the win, in my opinion. Super unique treatment of a relationship between sisters. The perspective of the dog gave it the extra star. Didn't care to finish. I always enjoy when a hard topic is treated with a lightness. A beautiful surprise. The twist got me on this one. Heartwarming, but not worth the hype. Well written, but the main character was just too unlikable for me. Delightful little twisted story. Heartwarming and full of hope. Continuing the downward slope with this author. Accessible and easy to read for a classic, but still boring. Super unique treatment of a memoir. Super engaging with a delightfully ambiguous ending. Rare mystery where you know from the beginning who done it, but you spend the entire time reading it learning the why. So weird and disturbing, not in a great way. Vulgar and not in a good way that I couldn't finish. A family drama wrapped up in a murder mystery. Super sweet story about friendship. Educational. Absolutely adorable story about a robot that I will be continuing in the series. Enjoyable to read, but I wish it had gone in another direction. A little on the long side, but great story at the end. A fun and funny reminder of life in my 20s. Surprisingly engaging thriller sci-fi. A little less weirdness would have gone a long way for this one. Really fun thriller with a satisfying ending. Excellent story of the importance of the ecosystem wrapped in a good mystery. Adorable. Brilliant treatment of domestic violence. Excellent characters, excellent plot, superb twist. That's one sentence with semicolons. Family saga with phenomenal dialogue. Fantastic road trip thriller. Super unique time travel story. Cute little romance, but predictable. Fun collection of essays that I wish I would have stretched out over time. Great little collection from Uncle Stevie. Super long, but wraps up really well. Fantastic start, but went on for too long. I didn't get it enough for it to be scary. A total riot. Sufficiently creepy, could not put this down. Suspension of belief makes this a fun ride. Unique and weird. A very happy surprise. So much fun. Beautifully illustrated. It was like sitting down and having a cup of coffee with the author. Educational, but meh. Hilarious and shockingly eye-opening. Ugh. Just no. DNF. Super cartoony and hated the narration. Boring and thankfully short. Morbidly fun. Pretty engaging as far as prequels go. Captivating thriller. Completely undeserving of its average rating on Goodreads. A cute follow-up to the first in the series. The first half was 5 stars, the second half was 2 stars. Super fun with a delicious twist. Absolutely worth the hype. Cute, but went on too long. Never thought I'd root for a serial killer. Pretty much closing the book on this author. Too much food, not enough Stanley. The story was okay, but mostly a snoozerama and not worth the hype. Found a delicious chowder recipe in here. Would have been better if it gone another way. So boring. I don't care. Oh, my heart. Hard hitting. Nothing like the original novel. Excellent historical fiction about the conflict in Romania in the late 80s. Really interesting premise, but would have been better if you found out why. Slow burn with a righteous twist. Lots of great little stories and super colorful characters. A sweet nonfiction composed of letters talking about books. Unique coming-of-age story muddled by simplistic writing. That's it. Those were my one-sentence reviews / thoughts on all the books that I read in 2022. I hope you enjoyed them. If you have any thoughts about my thoughts, feel free to comment or just say hi down in the doodly-doo. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.